And now we'll talk about the case of women. Just like with the case of the sterilization movement and aggressors, you have the case of women. Remember, when one considers punishment, they not only consider the victim and the victim's losses and suffering, they must also consider the sociological effect of the social policy of crime and punishment, or criminal justice, rather. If women have been shunning a man because he's good, and they have been sleeping with the enemy, when every day women are called sluts and gold diggers, every day churches are preaching morality, every day they are made to understand in many ways that it is wrong to reward bad men with sexual favors and sexual acts. They must be punished. And the punishment must fit the crime. First, you must consider that we are at war. Good people versus bad people. Whether you want to admit it or not, good and bad do exist. So whenever an attractive woman, who in our society, pretty much with a universal scale, is the most desirable mate for a man, sleeps with the enemy, whether that woman is considered an object or not is irrelevant, because the consequence of that action remains the same. Evil men are rewarded for evil deeds. They have all the money and all the women. If we must redistribute the money because it is not fair, especially from a sociological perspective, we must also take steps to ensure that they are not respected by women. And if you are to argue that those steps have already been made with all the churches and all the sermons and all the talk about the 1% and Occupy Wall Street and all the movements, even the movies that show how despicable it is for a female to be a gold digger. If your argument is that we already do that, let them make their own choice. That if, then they should also accept the consequences for their bad judgment. Crime is when something is done to an innocent person that is wrong, that harms that person or group of people. Gold digging whores are harming the most righteous members of our society, good men. And they should be punished for it. And it's a very difficult concept. Now, my argument isn't that they should all be raped. However, my argument is if the punishment was for them to be raped, it would not be unfair. All the whining, bleeding heart liberals will always focus on the harshness of the punishment. Do we say, you know what? This guy killed 2 people, but giving him 2 life sentences is harsh. That's the rest of his life behind bars. They always want to consider the punishment and never consider the seriousness of the crime. That is why the opposition view will fail to prove me wrong. just because it is not illegal, because we live in a capitalist society. In other cultures, it is taboo. It is wrong. So I am also suggesting, or downright declaring, that our system has a false or incorrect stance when it comes to gold-digging whores. They should be cast out of society for their treachery. They should be punished, imprisoned, raped, or shot. Don't know. But what I do know is that it is fair for them to pay for their sexual immorality and bad judgment with being raped. I can make a whole lot of points, but I will end this with this for the sake of keeping this argument short. You say, well, they're not hurting anyone. They are complicit with mass murder. There is 100 million preventable deaths every year. Just about. Because of gold-digging whores and feminists, abortion is legal, which makes up almost damn near half of those preventable deaths. Because of gold-digging whores, rich, indifferent scoundrels have incentive. Say it with me. Gold-digging whores give rich, indifferent scoundrels incentive to murder people by the millions. Soft kill, and so on. They are part of the supply line. In order for rich people to maintain their unconventional warfare against all of humanity, especially the poor, destitute, and vulnerable, they need to continue to get paid and to continue to have the affections of women and the support of their peers, or else there will be very few of them willing to do this. They do this because people feed their ego. They're not necessarily miserable psychopaths who are hell-bent to kill many people. They are people who are being rewarded by similar scoundrels who say, oh, you're so smart. Forget them. It's survival of the fittest anyway. Some gold-digging pigeon giving them a massage, saying, honey, you're so smart. You're so rich. I love you so much. I would now suggest that a gold-digging whore is an essential ingredient with most heterosexual rich men for the mass murder of people who are deprived. Very basic things, including human dignity. They should suffer. And anyone who contributes to the philosophy of the enemy should suffer with them. That which you do for the least of my brethren, you do for me. And that which you do against them, you do against me.